There we go. Almost it's over now, so just a second, it's getting there.
Are we just Mrs. Linda?
You know what, Mrs. Lamenta
I'm
and
struggling with having
Mrs.
problems today.
Davis are in my office. with the
It's
tower.
our end of the world.
They're just separate in their walls. We can see them right in there, see?
This is to,
Okay, oh.
Yep.
super duper.
Is it ready, Ms. Shackman?
Can you hear everybody? Yes, we are live on YouTube and ready to go.
We're ready.
All righty. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to bring to order the April 1st, 2021 meeting of the Butler County Area Vocational-Technical School Joint Operating Committee meeting. At this point in time, I would invite you to recite the Pledge of Allegiance and observe a moment of sound meditation with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please, Mrs. Amenza.
Mr. Conrad,
Here.
Ms. Daniels-Wells,
Here.
Mr. Hawley,
Here.
Mr. Harrison,
Here.
Mrs. Miller,
Here.
Mrs. Scott,
Here.
Mr. Peterson,
Here.
Mr. Somerville,
Here.
and Mr. Zeitz.
Here.
Thank you. Point in time, do we have any public to be heard?
No public is registered.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Then at this point in time, Dr. Hyder, do you have a report for us?
I do, thank you, Mr. Conrad.
Thank you.
Good evening, welcome to tonight's JOC meeting, everyone who's here in person, everyone who's in the virtual world, thank you so much for attending. This is just a reminder that we are recording this meeting and that we are streaming live on our BCA-BTS YouTube. At this point, if there's no objection, Mrs. Davis and Mrs. Amenza will open the budget ballots during the director's report with the tabulation to be read by our solicitor following the financial report.
Please do.
At this point, Mr. Ryan, our Principal Assistant Director, will announce Outstanding Students of the Month.
Good evening, everyone. Glad everyone could join us tonight. We do have some of our past winners of Student of the Month here virtually with us. So I'm going to start with our most recent month of April, and I'll work our way back. And as I see students are here, we'll open the floor after they've been introduced to all of you JOC members to ask any questions as you typically would. So starting with April, our Outstanding Student of the Month is a senior from Butler High School in our Heating and Air Conditioning program. His name is Aaron Breitenbach. Mr. Collins, his teacher, described him as one of the most talented students to ever come through the HVAC program. He is a third-year senior in the program and also a member of our National Technical Honor Society. Unfortunately, I don't see Aaron on this evening, so I will move on to our March winner, Miss Michaela Flieger. If you recall, Michaela was a junior at Slippery Rock and a second-year student in our sports medicine program. And Michaela is with us here this evening, along with her teacher, Dr. Hyman, as well. So if anyone has any questions they would like to ask Michaela, you can unmute yourself so you're prepared to answer as well. And
Ms. Shacker, please move Dr. Hyman over also from an attendee.
I had a question. Is she listening?
Yeah.
Congratulations for one. I just wondered, since this is a newer program, if you could just kind of fill us in on what your interest was, what made you choose it, and how you see it impacting your future.
So around 8th grade, almost 9th grade, I had a shoulder injury that developed from swimming on a local swim team that we have. So I went through a lot of physical therapy, a lot of doctor's visits, all kinds of stuff to do with sports medicine and stuff in the field of that. So it kind of sparked my interest that maybe this would be something that I wanted to do. So they had just come out with the program whenever I was eligible to go to Votech. So I went and tried out the program, and it was one of the best decisions that I made.
Ms. Shaffron, please move over Dr. Hyman from an attendee to a panelist.
Thank you.
Hi, Michaela. This is Heather Scott. I'm on the school board at Slippery Rock, so definitely congratulations. I like seeing our students get these, of course. What do you have plans afterwards in the same field then? Would you plan to go on to college, kind of stay in the area? What do you think you want to do?
My ultimate goal is to go on and get my doctorate in physical therapy at SRU.
Good.
That's-
Glad you're enjoying it that much. That's good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So I'm curious, does SRU have a early acceptance program? Or I guess maybe as a junior, you're probably too young for that, right?
Yeah. I kind of have to wait until my senior year to apply.
Michaela?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Fred Peterson. Thank you for being with us tonight, and thank you for all the effort you put forth. I'm wondering, since you're going through the program, if you have any advice for us as to how we can make it better for people that follow you.
Just try to get it out there as much as you possibly can, because our class size is decently small with the 6 students that we have in class. So like the more students that we can get, the better that it would be.
Good, thank you.
I have a question, Michaela. Does the small class size, do you think, help in any way, or do you think it's mostly detrimental?
It's nice to have the small class because we can have very individualized one-on-one kind of work.
Super. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did we have her teacher as well, I believe?
Yes, right there, Dr. Hyman.
Oh.
Dr. Hyman.
Would you?
Hi, sorry, I cut out for a second there.
Okay, I just wondered if you wanted to say a few words about your student.
Michaela is an excellent student. She's a great role model for her peers in there. And as you heard, she was kind of in our freshman class last year, quote unquote, one of my guinea pigs as I'm learning and going through this process. But just a fantastic and very self-motivated, works fantastically with everybody else. And she even talked a little bit about our class size. And yes, we're small, and luckily that's allowed to kind of get a great relationship with each other. And also we're a very hands-on profession, so they feel very comfortable working with each other. And so that's been a positive actually in this case. But she's going to be able to do whatever she puts her mind to, and Slippery Rock will be ready for her.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any other questions for me or anything specific?
Just, I'm sure you're looking forward to not having COVID restrictions. Be part of it.
Absolutely. Everybody is.
Thank you so much, both of you. We're going to move on to our next student. Thank you for being here virtually. Have a great evening.
Absolutely.
Our next student was our February student of the month, Mr. Cole Lyons. Cole is a senior at Butler High School. He's a 3rd-year student in our heavy equipment program. And Ms. Shackron, if you could move Cole over, I believe it's under the name Jennifer Lyons there.
Oh, okay.
Cole, you can go ahead and unmute yourself there.
Okay, I got myself unmuted now.
Great. Go ahead and open the floor for any questions for Cole.
Cole, this is Mr. Hawley from Butler. So congratulations and thank you for representing Butler School District so well. I had a question on if you could help us understand how COVID has impacted your learning in such a hands-on, mechanically inclined class. How are you able to achieve and continue to learn in the midst of all this?
Well, I think the main thing that has helped is they has really developed the Canvas this year into a hands-on kind of. It's like you're not getting the hands-on you need, but like the books and the programs and the pages they're putting out on Canvas really help you understand the job. So when you come back into the classroom to do it hands-on, you have a really good knowledge of how to do it.
Good. So you see yourself still being able to move forward with the way things have gone?
Could you repeat the question real quick? I couldn't hear you so well.
Do you see yourself being able to move along successfully, even though you've had limited hands-on?
Yes, I see myself being able to move along successfully because outside of Votech, my family and me have a 200-acre farm and we have about 90 head of beef cattle, and we do all our own tractor repairs, and whether that's doing brakes, engines, or whether that's doing equipment maintenance. So I'm getting the hands-on outside of Votech, even though I'm not there sometimes.
That's wonderful. And what plans do you have starting for next year? No, I'm sorry. My name is John Conrad Cole. I'm from Butler also.
My plans are, I went today, actually, I'm at a truck stop right now because I went and visited Pennsylvania College of Technology and I got the tour for the diesel technician class out there, and we didn't quite make it home yet for the meeting. So,
Well, we thank you for trying, and congratulations on your award.
thank you so much.
Cole, thank you so much. This is Dr. Heiler, and I just want to, I have a question for you. You still feel coming to this school, what you've learned, even though you have some experience, what can you say you've learned most from your teacher to help you moving forward?
I think Mr. Rick is a really good role model on showing you how to do things right and how to take your time. And he's really good with the kids that don't really have the experience like I do, but they really want to learn. He really takes his time to show you how to do things properly. And even though I have some of the stuff on the farm to work on, Mr. Rick is really good at showing you all versatile things like gas engines, whether it's a diesel engine or a truck or brakes or whatever. He's really good at just explaining and showing things to you.
Thank you so much, and also thank you for being at a truck stop calling us, doing this whenever you're on your way home from Penn College of Technology. I know that's quite a hike, but we appreciate it, and I wouldn't expect anything less from one of Mr. Rearick's students. They just do what they need to do to get things done, so thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I wasn't going to miss this meeting.
Thank you.
Do we have Mr. Rearick?
We do.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, Cole.
Oh, thanks for having me.
We'll move on next to our January Student of the Month. Our January Student of the Month, it was Ginny Heltzley. Ginny was a senior at Knock High School. She's a second-year student in our culinary arts program. And Ginny, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself there, and we'll open the floor up for any questions.
Hi. Jenny, this is Deb Miller. I'm from South Butler, represent South Butler. Congratulations. I have been telling everybody in the district at the meetings about you and how proud we are of you.
Thank you.
I would have to say, like some of the other directors have said about doing hands-on projects, culinary is definitely an area where you really need hands-on to do some of the, especially some of those baking things. But how have you felt that the program's been for you, even with the COVID? Because you had before and with COVID. So
I feel it's still ran very smoothly considering we've had to accommodate to a lot of the COVID regulations and everything. It's been kind of difficult working in the hot kitchens with masks on, but we've been keeping socially distanced and still getting some group work in to learn how to work properly in a kitchen.
well, I congratulate you again. And, do you have any plans of what you want to do after Votech?
Yes, I have been accepted into the Culinary Institute of America for the fall 2021 session.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I plan to go up there for 4 years and do a culinary arts and business management major.
Great.
Oh,
Very
Jane,
good.
Currently working in the food or restaurant field.
Yes.
Where are you working?
I'm currently working at Bonnybrook Clubhouse. I am a kitchen manager over there, and I also fill in bartending.
you're getting some real hands-on experience with respect to restaurant administration. Sorry.
So you're in high school, you're already a manager, you're saying?
Yes, I manage the kitchen in the bar.
Impressive.
Very, very impressive. Congratulations on joining the CIA. And
Thank you.
that when you graduate from them, will you have an associate's degree then?
I'll have a bachelor's degree.
Oh, very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Jenny.
Thanks for
Glad you were
having me.
able to make it. Okay, we'll move on to our December Student of the Month. Our December Student of the Month is from Mars Area High School. Nelson Yingling, he's a third-year student in our building construction program, and he is also currently one of our students participating in the cooperative education program, which for any of those of you who don't know is instead of coming here to school, he actually works in the building construction field and reports to work. And we have a partnership with his employer, and they give us feedback and report back on how he is doing and performing for them. And he earns a grade based on that, as well as getting some practical experience in the field and earning a paycheck. So unfortunately, Nelson wasn't able to join us this evening, but it's a little bit of information on him. Our November winner was Kayleen Holtz. Kayleen was a senior from the Slippery Rock School District, and she was a third-year student in our cosmetology program. Kayleen was also unable to be here tonight as well. So move on to our next group of students here. I believe both of them are here. We have our Penn HOSA State Leadership Conference. HOSA is a student organization that is open to our health assistant program students as well as our protective service program students. And we have 2 students who will be competing virtually in the Penn HOSA State Leadership Conference. It actually starts on Tuesday. We have first Brittany Chrisman. Brittany is a junior from Carn City and a second-year student on our health assisting program. She was actually prepared to compete in the veterinary science event last year before all the COVID shutdowns happened. So she's competing in that again this year and is looking forward to being able to do it again next year. Our second student is Bethany Morrow, and Bethany is a sophomore from Carn City also, and she has prepared to compete in the nursing assistant event, and she's hoping to be able to compete in it once again next year. So Brittany and Bethany, if you two want to unmute, and we'll open the floor for any questions for the two of you.
So I understand you are going to have the opportunity then to travel and compete?
We're not traveling. We actually have to do it at school up at the Votech.
They are virtual for this year still.
Okay. So that's going to be a little different.
Definitely. I've heard it's quite fun in person, but I'm sure I'll have a great time up at the school too.
And so what are you looking to go into for yourself? Can you tell us how you think this will impact your future?
The Votech has given me a lot of experience, and I've chose to actually to go into a CNA program when I finish the Votech. So I'll do that while I'm in college for veterinarian.
Have you picked a school yet?
I'm actually looking at several different schools. Texas A&M is one of them. I hope I get there, but I'm also looking at Purdue and Ohio State.
Yeah, a great college.
So you'll be pursuing a CNN or CNA?
Yeah, when I graduate from the high school, I'll take the test for CNA.
Oh. And then you'll be, after you go to college, you'll be majoring in, what would you be majoring in?
My first major would be in bio for my first 4 years, and then when I get accepted to vet school, if I do, I would have a doctor in veterinary medicine.
Okay, I see.
When you do?
Yeah, if and when, I hope.
I understand getting into veterinary school is very, very competitive.
Oh yes, a girl from my church, she actually was not accepted anywhere in the US. She had to go to Scotland.
Oh, that sounds even more fun.
Oh yeah.
How about our fellow students? How are they going to impact their future?
Bethany, can you
Hi, sorry, it wouldn't let me like unmute or anything.
Okay.
So tell them about how you see this impacting your future. What you want to do?
For when I get out of high school, I'd like to go into the military and be active for like field medic, and then I'd like to go to college at the same time and be a pediatrician.
Actually, yeah, programs. You got your schooling, right? Of course, you have to serve longer, but at least you have those student loan that way.
Yeah.
And how was your experience at Vocational-Technical?
I'm having a really good experience. I'm learning lots of new things and making like new friends and new memories and stuff.
Super.
Have you picked a college? Obviously, Pitt is one of those programs that works with the military for you to go and do your schooling there and still serve. Have you picked a college yet?
I was looking at a college in South Florida or to go to like Slippery Rock or something local.
Better, a little better Florida.
Yeah.
So I want to say, those of you who are in the same program, I want to point this out. We're doing very different. How your teachers helped you, help guide you, and how guide you. Where you find out?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Oh, I'm sorry. How were you helped by your peers or by the other students in class or the environment you're to go where you want to go? To be in the military, to be a medic is much different than a pediatrician. Just a different. How did you come to that conclusion?
How did I come to that conclusion?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked like working on people and like I really liked this experience, so I wanted to continue it on because our teachers have like made us like look and see how patients like react and how we would help them, and I like the idea of helping people.
Great. What about you, Brittany?
So I've always wanted to do something to help others, whether it was people or animals. I've always wanted to help them. So being in this program and then getting HOSA experience with, I did shadowing before the COVID hit, and I really liked the shadowing with the veterinarian office. So I think that really helped me to be able to have that opportunity because of VOTech and HOSA, to know that I wanted to do stuff with animals and people.
Great. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
I wish you could give them the thundering applause and all the there. Just imagine lots of applause and cheers.
Well, thank you, Brittany and Bethany, for being able to join us here tonight. We appreciate it. And congratulations and best of luck to both of you on Tuesday.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Our last student to highlight here is our Butler County Healthcare Consortium Healthcare Student of the Year, Miss Emma Starr. Emma is a senior at Butler High School, and she is a student in our health assisting program. If you recall, the Butler Eagle article was an exhibit in our previous meeting, and Emma's here with us tonight as well. If you have any questions for her, she is on the floor.
Hello.
Hello, Emma, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about what your plans are for the future?
Yeah, I am going to BC3 next year for nursing. I'm very excited.
Very cool. So you've already been accepted then?
Yes.
Fantastic, congratulations.
Thank you.
So what kind of a nurse do you want to be?
I have no idea. I really like orthopedics, but my end goal is to be a surgical nurse practitioner. So I know that BC3 is like my first step out to get there.
Wonderful.
Have you looked at any other schools then that where you would move on to, or are you gonna wait until you get up close?
Yeah, I know that Chatham has something where I can get my bachelor's in like a couple months. I know that Clarion has something similar. I think Edinburgh also.
Well, here's a thought to consider, not to be out of place here or anything like that, but when you graduate from BC3 and you have your registered nurse certificate and you start working, most employers will pay for your bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
So that way it reduces your cost too.
And your parents will greatly appreciate that.
Yes.
And thanks so much again for representing Butler so well.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Thank you so much for representing Butler Area School District so well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, it doesn't look like we have any further questions for Emma. Emma, thanks for joining us. Glad you were able to make it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and good luck to you in the future.
Thanks.
And just one last item to wrap everything up. We also had 2 students this past week compete virtually for 2 of our Skills USA competitions. One student was in our welding program, Maxwell Blaine, and we don't have the results yet. They had to weld some pieces and then do a presentation to a group of judges. And our second competitor was in our graphic design program for a state t-shirt competition. She had to present her design and then also go through an interview process about how she came up with that design. So hopefully for the next meeting, we'll have those two students available to answer any questions that you might have, as well as the results of how they did.
Can you spell the last name of the Butler student that you first announced, since he's not part of our notes? What was Aaron's last name?
Breitenbach, BREITENBACH.
Thank you.
No problem.
Mr. Ryan, you've concluded, correct?
Yes, sorry.
No, just double checking. Okay, I will go on with my report then.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ryan.
Thank you. So we have updates to the agenda, our bill list. Director's newsletter is Exhibit 1. Enrollment report, Exhibit 2. Attendance chart, Exhibit 3. Conferences, Exhibit 4. Media, Exhibit 5, you will see in Butler Business Matters, March edition, we had a nice article, High Tech, Tech. Also in Business Matters, March edition, our new advertisement. Correspondence received is Exhibit 6. On March 8th, we had Slippery Rock Area School District approve the 21-22 budget. March 9th, Montauk approved the 21-22 budget. March 10th, Seneca Valley approved 21-22 budget. March 16th, South Butler County approved the budget. March 17th, 2021, from Butler Area School District approved the budget. March 22nd, Mars Area School District approved the budget. And then we had a school Park City at the last meeting to approve, so you know, so all 7 approved. Water testing update, I'm going to give you some information on this. The letter you will see in Exhibit 7, that was emailed to you, and I called every single one of you. It explains where we started on March 11, 2021. Here's the updates. Legionella. Since then, I did inform the JOC that the second test, that was the first retest of the hot water tank, was negative for Legionella. Again, there were no traces of Legionella in this retest, but we did a third test, which was our second retest. Last week, again, I informed you, we received the results. Again, no Legionella. I'm very relieved to say there are no traces of it. As a quick reminder, upon our first and only positive Legionella test result for the hot water tank, we quickly retested, but since we subsequently drained the hot water tank, flushed, sanitized, and we refilled with fresh water, in discussion with the company Intertech PSI, we decided for a third test, which was the second retest. And again, I'm reporting negative, no Legionella. Lead, with respect to lead testing, just this morning we got our results. We received our results and it was a preliminary report for the testing, but the actual results. I'm relieved to say that all of our lead retests, we are below the 15 ppb action level. Moving forward, I will provide this information that I shared with you to our school community, but first I will give you a formal letter as I did the first time. And then our maintenance department will continue to clean and sanitize and heat treat our water through clear, organized procedures. So everything has been out in the open. I've shared everything with you, and I will give you that letter before I give it to the community also. Okay, does anyone have any questions about that though?
Will there be any ongoing protocol to make sure we don't have the city and so forth again?
Yes, and Mr. Pinello actually will present that to you at the next meeting.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dr. Heiler?
Yes.
Hi, it's Jen Wells. I don't have any questions. I just wanted to make a comment that, to thank you for being so diligent and thorough with this process. And then also, it was time consuming, I know, for you to call each and every one of us and discuss this with us. You were probably saying it in your sleep, but I appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much. That was very nice of you. Thank you.
Sure.
We got our supplemental equipment grant money. That's great news. We were awarded $79,000, $680,000. Here's what we got. I'll let you know. Auto Technology. This is the equipment in process of being purchased. Auto Technology NC3 Snap-on Torque Kit System. So that's understanding torque, tool safety, hands-on operation of torque tools, and this is through the National Coalition of Certificate Centers. This is for certification for our students. Auto body collision repair, 3 toolkits with a new tool called a maxi kit that we don't have yet, and that is a new way for us to teach the students how to remove dents and minor dents. Carpentry, a CNC wood lathe, a joiner, protective services, a high-pressure vehicle bag system, and health assistant, 2 ProCare vital signs monitors, and obviously that's for vital signs, and the certification that goes with that is patient care technician. So we're getting good things, everything that the teachers are asking for, they're on their OAC minutes. Also, we are finalizing our draft plan of the capital improvement plan categories, format, and contents. And that's something Mr. Colonello will present at the next meeting also. Okay.
Sure.
For our 2021 awards program, Ashley Lamenza is collecting JOC donations for student awards. We have a tentative date set for later in May. School has been running on in-person instruction 5 days a week since March 8th. All is good. And our next authority board meeting is May 6th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. And the next regular JOC meeting is May 6th, 2021 at 7 p.m. And I have to back up because I spoke too quickly. When I'm speaking about the capital improvement plan, the categories, the format and contents, the process will be that I will share with the superintendents first, and then we will actually share at the November finance subcommittee meeting. But I'm still going to have him speak and just share what he's been working on so far and how we've set it up, just to clarify that. And that is the conclusion of my director's report.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Haller. It's always encouraging to see so many students doing so well. And it's refreshing in today's world, it truly is. And I thank you again, as Mrs. Wells did, for your diligence regarding the water issue. Thank you. And as we move on, may I please have a motion, a first and a second, to approve Dr. Haler's report, Mr. Hawley and Mr. Harrison. Any additional questions or comments? All in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Then I present before you Exhibit 8, which is meeting minutes of March the 4th. May I please have a motion to second to approve that item? Holly, and I'll tell you what, if you
Jen Wells.
Jen Wells, thank you. If you say something or wave both your arms or something, because you guys are about this size, hard to see. So just I'll probably. Ms. Wells, may I please have any additional questions or concerns at this time? Okay, all in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you so very much. Under new business, we have the school calendar in Exhibit 9. For 21-22, we have the articulation agreement with California University as shown in Exhibit 10. We have the articulation agreement for the Pittsburgh Technical College as shown in Exhibit 11. And then we have the textbooks to approve for the 21-22 year. May I please have a motion in a second to approve those items?
So move, Bill.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Mr. Harrison. And any further questions or comments regarding those 4 items?
I had a question about the textbooks. Normally in our districts, we have a policy that when they're picked, they're put on display for 30 days, you get a chance to look at them and so forth. And I don't remember ever buying textbooks in my 9 years here. But I just wondered, what is the process for choosing that particular?
We could send you a copy, an electronic copy to review.
Well, I was just wondering
we
what
do
the
every
process
year.
was.
We buy them every year, though. We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't remember. So there's a process of review for obviously our teachers, but does it also go before our professional board and so forth as well?
Our teacher speaks with the principal and they decide what works best for the students, and their OAC normally recommends.
So they also give that.
Oh, yes, it's not just the teacher picking, it's the principal being in charge of curriculum and the teacher communication.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. Any other comments or questions? With that, roll call, please, Mrs. Lorenzo.
Mr. Hawley,
Yes.
Mr. Harrison,
Yes.
Miss Daniels Wells,
Yes.
Mr. Zeitz,
Yes.
Mrs. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Conrad,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
and Mr. Somerville.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you all so very much. Dr. Haddon, do we have a need of executive session?
We do not have the need to have.
Okay, thank you. Then moving on to personnel, we have item 1, which is to hire a guidance secretary, as shown in Exhibit 12. May I please have a motion and a second to approve Suzanne Freund for that position? Mr. Halley and Mr. Harrison, thank you. Any questions or comments regarding that item?
Yes, please, if I may, I have a question.
Oh, please.
Dr. Heiler, I assume this is for you. I noticed in reviewing her application that she had a no checked in terms of contacting one of her previous employers. Does that give you any reason for concern, or do you have an idea why she didn't want us to investigate her prior employment?
I actually do know why, because at that place, at the place where she used to work, that children's center, no one, how do I want to say this? She stopped working there in 2008, and in 2009, it is the oldest employee. No one there knows her anymore. There are 4 employees there, and they all started after she stopped working there.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's something to think about. So I did look it up and I did confirm with her, but I did speak to 3 references and they were all very positive.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
I had a question regarding the salary, simply because in reviewing the application, it's under what she had previously made. I just wonder what her interest is in coming to us from a position where she was actually making more money.
I asked the same question. She's excited to start something new. She really likes to organize and she likes to be in that secretarial role. She has so many roles in this position that she feels, or she believes she could be stronger doing the secretarial work. She likes how busy she is. She will be busy here, but she was drawn to working in a school. And 2 of her children, one is about to graduate and one did go here, and it seems like when people walk through these doors, they want to come back. She was drawn to the place, but the hours are, I'm sure, better. And she's looking forward to the responsibility of this job. She said that it fit her when she read the description.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Roll call, please, Mrs. Lorenzo.
Mr. Hawley,
Yes.
Mr. Harrison,
Yes.
Mr. Conrad,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Zeitz,
Yes.
Mr. Somerville,
Yes.
Mr. Peterson,
Yes.
Mrs. Scott,
Yes.
and Ms. Daniels Wells.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you once again. Moving on to finance. We have the financial reports as shown in Exhibit 13. We have the bill list as it's shown in Exhibit 14. Can you please have a motion and a second to approve those items?
Makes it easier for the hearing.
Jen Wells.
Thank you, Mrs. Wells. I appreciate you. Any questions or comments?
I had a simple question. Our student accounts. I don't know if we ever pay as much attention to those, since they're really just in and out with what is happening to the accounts, but also they have a little bit of a balance, especially the one I saw. Is it just a rollover from year to year, Rebecca? So are we putting anything else in there? I mean, can you give us any feedback regarding that?
Yes, the student activities account that does roll over from year to year.
And so is it just, I mean, if I remember correctly, I'm not looking at it right now, but I believe one was well over $20,000, that type of thing. Is that a normal amount? I don't remember seeing them that high.
Which account are you specifically looking at? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Might have been the HOSA account, if I remember correctly. It's like $23,000.
Yes, the HOSA account, that is appropriate. Keep in mind that the fundraising that they do is generally geared towards the state competitions. Sometimes they can go further with their competitions, and of course that did not occur last year. So there was money that had been fundraised in anticipation of certain events that did not occur with the pandemic. So then funds were carried forward.
And I guess that's why I'm asking the question. Obviously, students raise money that they thought that they would benefit from. And some of them aren't having the same opportunity to benefit. Is there other thoughts towards using some of that money that still might be a benefit for the students that raised it? Some way of helping them even as they move forward with other education?
That's more of a question for Mrs. Davis, if you don't mind me interrupting you for a moment, for Mr. Ryan and also the advisors, but I know that they have some activities planned for the students. It's just, I think honestly, they were putting out for a real competition.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
However, that money will not sit, it will not be squandered. They will do something with it. And I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and that-
Students raised it. Why aren't they enjoying the benefits of that? Because they work hard for their fundraising.
Yeah, that was just going to be my
Yeah.
encouragement, is that if there's some way that they could utilize the money that they raised to benefit their education or other things that would have been for their use, that if there's something we could do.
And they're in the works, yes, they are in the works with that. They are. It will be used for the students appropriately. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ryan. Any additional questions or comments? All righty, roll call, please, Mrs. Lomenzo.
Mr. Holly,
Yes.
Ms. Daniels Wells,
Yes.
Mr. Conrad,
Yes.
Mr. Harrison,
Yes.
Mr. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Somerville,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Scott,
Yes.
and Mr. Zeitz.
Yes.
Thank you all, one and all. Motion passes unanimously once again. Before I take a motion in a second to adjourn, does anyone have any additional at-large questions or comments they would like to make? All righty.
We do have Mr. May.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yes, I forgot. We have the
Yeah,
results of our tabulation.
Yeah, I have the results of the voting on the budget. And first of all 7 districts voted in favor of the budget. And the balloting was tabulated from each individual board, each individual director. And the budget passed by a vote of 60 yes and 0 no's. So the budget passes.
Thank you very much.
Conrad, I'll give you the tabulations.
Thank you so much, Mr. May.
You're welcome.
All righty. With that, any other questions, comments, omissions? Okay, may I please have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting? Mr. Harrison and Mr. Holly, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.